What is up, booktube? It is Monty, and today I'm here to do my May wrap-up, kind of talk about what I want to get to in the month of June, and then just a couple of quick announcements. I don't know. Like, whatever winds up happening in this video is what happens in this video. So let's just jump straight into it, shall we? In the month of May, I read, I want to say 6 things. I think that's what I said in my other video. 1, 2, 3, yes. I read 6 things. I read a total of 3 arcs, and then 3 published things. The arcs I won't get into too much, because 2 of them got pushed, and the 3rd one wasn't that great. But the first arc that I managed to get to was When You Get the Chance by Tom Ryan and Robin Stevenson. Is that? Yes, Robin Stevenson. It was meant to come out in the month of May, and then it got pushed back because of Miss Rona. So it'll come out in May. I think it's still May of next year, 2021. I thought it was a road trip cousin novel, and it kind of is, but we don't get to the road trip until like 50, maybe even 60% of the way through the book. A lot of the book is just like generic family drama that I wasn't particularly invested in, and it wasn't, I don't know. We'll get into it in 2021, but let me just say that this was not what I was expecting to get, and I was kind of sad. That's just, it is what it is. After that, I read The Lost Carnival, a Dick Grayson graphic novel by Mr. Michael Moreci. Again, wasn't what I was expecting. I talked about this a little bit in one of my videos, so I'll leave that linked up in the cards. I want to say it was a Friday Reads video where I looked like I was sitting in a fucking cave. Wasn't the biggest fan of it. I didn't really feel like it's a great place. This kind of a story is usually what DC or like even Marvel or whatever comic imprint, like they put out these, you know, graphic novel stories in order to like get you into the character, and so then like you'll go back and read the backlist and you'll be a fan forever, right? But as someone I felt like who was familiar with Dick Grayson or just like the Robin character in general, it just didn't make sense to me. Didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand. This was meant to take place before he was Robin, so like his parents are still alive, but it's set in the modern time. It just, I don't know, there was something about it that didn't work, and then there was like this little insta-livey romance situation in order for the rest of the plot to like happen. It just didn't work for me. I don't really think that anybody who enjoyed this take on Dick Grayson would enjoy Dick Grayson in literally like any other medium that they found him in. So I'm kind of surprised. This isn't the first time that Michael Moreci has written the character, so I don't know like how much of this was like his original idea or how much of this was like something that, you know, DC Comics wanted to have and they just had the idea and they gave it to him to execute. I don't know, but I do know that it was not a good book. Then I picked up Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. I'm kind of upset that I didn't actually finish Twilight as well, because having that included on my Goodreads stats is going to fuck up my page count for the year, but it is what it is. This is Twilight if, big air quotes there, Twilight if it had been written from the perspective of a male character. This was the sort of 10th anniversary edition of Twilight, if you will. It was written in order to like highlight, in the author's note, it's written to like highlight some of the character flaws that people say Bella has. I'm not going to talk about this too much because I didn't like this. It was actually very uncomfortable to read. But I am going to leave a link in the cards to Princess Weeks' video that she did. I want to say it was when this book came out, because she has a discussion about life and death where I agree wholeheartedly with a lot of the things that she says, and it would just be beneficial to you and to me if you were to go and watch her video. So I'm going to leave that linked up in the cards and move on to the next book, which was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Miss Suzanne Collins. I paid good money for this book. I was not going to read the book, was not going to buy the book, was not going to do anything with the book. And then I caved. I went on Twitter and I was like, should I do the thing? And the Twitter poll said yes. And so who am I to deny the people? If you guys are saying you want content, I'll give you this content. So I bought the book. I stayed up all night reading the book. The next day I went live to talk about the book, and I hated this book so much. You can watch the live. I know it's like an hour. It is what it is. I hated the book so much. I don't understand what Miss Collins was trying to do here. I will say that, sure, she might not have made Snow a sympathetic person, but I don't think that the book makes any goddamn sense. You have literally every character in the Capitol out here talking about how they don't like the Hunger Games. No one in the Capitol is really rooting for the Hunger Games. And then you have the situation where the games are so fucked that they have to erase them from the history books. And yet somehow these are also the games where everything that we know about them becomes incorporated. So you like the betting and treating them nicely. All of those things are incorporated into this games, but at the same time, this games is wiped from everybody's memory and no one remembers. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit book. I don't understand anybody who likes it. If you like it, I'm happy for you, but I think that we all need to like come to some kind of agreement that the only way you could like this book is because it's Miss Collins. I think that if anybody else had written this book or written a book where similar elements were there, we wouldn't fuck with it. We wouldn't fuck with it. And I think that you can still want a villain origin story. I don't think that this book, I don't think that this book invalidates that story for other books, but I think that another book has to execute it better, because this book was executed like complete garbage. So that's what that one is. After that, I picked up The Wongs versus the World by Jade Chang, and it was cute. I was really excited for this book, and then it just kind of went nowhere. The entire book, it kind of spun its wheels. It didn't really have anything it was trying to do. Even after I accepted that it was just going to be a character study, it still didn't work out for me. And then it ended in a weird place. It was kind of nothing about this book I found to be as enjoyable as I thought it was going to be when I started reading it, and so I can't wholeheartedly recommend that anybody else pick it up. And then the last book that I read in the month of May was another arc. It's the last arc, and that was Influence by Sarah Shepard, with contributions of some unknown quantity or amount I think it's it's Lila Buckingham. Lila Buckingham contributed to the work, and this is meant to be about a group. I think there are 3 perspectives in the book. 4 perspectives in the book. My apologies. 4 perspectives. They're like Hollywood. They live in Hollywood. They're sort of influencer type characters. And then like at the 70% point, pretty much like 65% of the way through the book, one of the perspectives winds up dead. But then the book also kind of plays with this like faked their own death angle. Overall, I found that it was just not it. I found that it was lacking in a lot of areas that were not for Monty, and I was really sad because this is the kind of character, this is like the kind of book I think, maybe it's because it's Sarah Shepard, and so many of her other books have been turned into TV shows, but this really read like something, it really read kind of like the other book that Freeform turned into a TV show. The one with Bella Thorne. That was a cute little show. So like that show mixed with like a murder, like it was that. Like, and I would watch the TV show, but this book, it's meant to be a standalone, but because of the whole maybe they faked their death angle, you could argue you could get like a duology. It just didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. I also felt that a lot of the way that we were talking about technology read like someone in like 2012 talking about technology in various, I don't know. It didn't work for me. I was very sad because it was one of those books that again was recommended to me in the blurb by the publishing house as having Gossip Girl vibes, and I did not get the Gossip Girl vibes. Sorry, I didn't get them. So that's what I read in May. Overall, it was an okay reading month. Now we move on to the month of June, and that's where things get a little bit, what am I going to be reading? Now, as we all know, June is Pride Month, so just in general, and it's also my birthday month. So I was obviously going to read queer books this month. Probably male book. I think I do have one sapphic book on its way to me. You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson, I believe, has a sapphic relationship, but it's back ordered, so I don't even know if it's going to get to me in the month of June, let alone if I'll get the chance to read it. So a lot of people have been trying to boost books by Black authors, and I definitely support that. I did place my largest book order ever to support some Black-owned bookstores on the Bookshop website. So I supported some local businesses, supported some Black authors. Who knows, because of COVID and all that other stuff, when those books are actually going to get to me. Can't promise anything. What I do know is that I have 3 books that were meant to be read by, well, okay, take it back. Only 2 of these books are coming out this month. The first book already came out, Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert. That came out on the 3rd of the month. My goal was to read it really quickly, but I'm not enjoying it at all. But it's an arc, and so I don't like getting arcs and then not reading them and having to like DNF them. Like I don't know. There's something in there that just feels weird to me. So I'm gonna try and finish it, but it's not a book by Black author. But it is a queer relationship. I don't know how Annabeth Albert identifies. I'm just gonna be very straightforward and honest with you there. And then I also have My Eyes Are Up Here, which comes out on June 23rd. Because I believe the archive date is the same date as the publication date. So I have a little bit of time to read that one. I think that's meant to be more of like a social commentary novel. It's a contemporary. I don't think it's queer. But it's an arc. I got the arc. I want to finish the arc. And then I have Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. That's the Cover Horrors book of the month for the book club. And I am co-hosting that. I don't know if it's on Carly's channel this time or if it's on Heather's channel this time. So I'll leave a link to the Twitter down below. But that is a Black author and a trans author. And it's about a trans main character. But after that, I honestly have no fucking idea what I'm getting to the rest of the month. I do know that I have like a good 10 arcs that I haven't touched on NetGalley. A lot of them are queer. A lot of them I could probably read this month. I honestly don't know. My reading has not been the most ideal version of itself, so I'm not trying to make any promises that I know that I can't keep. And we all know that I don't like TBRs. I prefer Friday reads. And so now that life is sort of coming back, I don't want to say coming back to normal, but I think that life is coming back to a place where I can get back into doing Friday reads. Friday reads will be coming back next week. This Friday, I'm going to be posting my, mid-year book freakout tag. Posting it this Friday, so that's what we'll have. And then the following Friday, we'll get back into the Friday reads, so I don't have to really worry about a TBR situation, but that's where we're currently at, because there won't be a Friday reads this week. Also, last announcement of the video is that I've decided that I'm rewatching Gossip Girl. I keep talking about how I want Gossip Girl influenced stories. Bitch, all 6 seasons are on Netflix. So I'm doing a Gossip Girl rewatch, and yesterday for me, which was Sunday the 7th, that sounds right, yeah, Sunday the 7th, Mayana over at Mayana Reads, she hosted a Netflix watch party for Radio Rebel. First time watching that movie. Would not recommend. Mayana lied to us all. We were hoodwinked, bamboozled. We were all Ja Rule. Anyway, I'm going to be doing every weekend until I get through all 6 seasons, Saturday and Sunday from 12 Pacific, where I'm currently residing, to I guess like 5 o'clock Pacific. I'm going to be on Netflix watch party doing 4 episodes a day. So it's going to be a while, but that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm currently, while my weekends are free, that's what I'll be doing. If it happens to change, I'll be able to like update it. I will be tweeting about it, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link is down below in the description. That way you can see when I tweet out the link. I won't be posting about it on YouTube, obviously, because it has nothing to do with books, but that's what I'll be doing. We have already watched the first 4 episodes, so this Saturday we'll be starting with episode 5, in case you've never seen it and you want to like watch those 4 episodes. There's a fuck ton of questionable content in those first 4 episodes. 12 out of 10 did not remember the fuck shit that was going on, but still 12 out of 10 was enjoying the mess. So that's all that I have to say for this video. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you leave this emoji in the comment section down below. But that's all I got for you. I'll see you again on Friday for the mid-year book freak out tag. But until then, and until next time, bye.